All right, everyone. Welcome to our season 1 finale of the Kingdom Counsel. So tonight is a special topic, a rousing call to action. There are many strange things taking place in the world today, but are we asleep at the wheel? The pandemic, civil unrest, magnetic people, presidential assassination. What is going on and what can we do about it? So I'm sure you guys seen in the news a lot of stuff going on in like South Africa and Cuba. South Africa, we had like over 117 people die so far in what they're calling riots, and over 2,000 people have been arrested following the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma. And accounts are saying this is like the biggest civil unrest since the ending of apartheid. Like, any thoughts on any of that stuff?
They have a mass agenda out here to try and get rid of as many people as they can before the earth obliterates itself, and they're trying to skip to space before it happens.
Yeah, what about these billionaires getting these tickets to space? Like, just, I want to go in outer space, I'm just gonna pay to go. I think like the guy that owns Virgin Mobile, he just went.
They're not getting far. Nobody. It's a firmament. Where are you?
Exactly. That's like, what is this about? People,
propaganda.
I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah, 2012, the movie, but it's 2021.
Yeah,
it's a lot of them.
Because I swear they thought the arcs that they were trying to leave on after they messed up the whole world, they were boats though. They weren't ships like everyone assumed.
They thought they were spaceships.
I remember that part.
When you look at all the TV shows right now and movies, they're on this like apocalyptic tip.
Zombies.
That like a coincidence or what?
Yeah.
No, I mean Netflix does that every time something pops up.
Yeah, trying to drive up views. Because
like, I don't know how many videos there were of like Black Summer, Black Zombies, Black this, like that. Mm-hmm. And then there was the whole pandemic thing. It was all kinds of diseases and
yeah. They're pushing it into the realm.
It's a lot of distractions.
It's like the way YouTube does the algorithm. Like whatever they hear from your phone or whatever, it pops up on your device.
Yeah.
Right.
They're also pushing it into the realms to make that stuff happen. Like, we know that writing stuff down and manifesting it manifests in this realm, same type of time that they're on. That's the scary part about it. Everyone's watching it as a movie, but it's literally about them and their future demise.
That's why I don't watch horror movies anymore, scary movies.
I understand. I never was a scary movie.
I don't watch them. Like, there's certain movies. What was that one movie, The Witch? That movie, I've seen it. And that's just a movie, if you believe in any type of spiritual thing, you don't watch nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that filmmaker alone, all his movies are like the same undertones. Everything is they all, like, you could tell he made the movies and they all have that same undertone, or everything's just, it just feels so wrong to watch it sometimes. Like, they're well made, don't get me wrong, the cinematography is great, but it really, like, all that stuff comes from somewhere. I mean, you guys know that it's not just made up, but
the cinematography is always on point. But it's like, what is the message you're promoting? Like, these people be having haunted experiences all because they watched the movie and they invited that into their space.
Right.
Like, y'all invited it.
My homegirl just told me about somebody where a chick was like calling out another chick, oh, she gonna be a tail, whatever. And then, like, immediately she got hit with a car. It's kind of like, not saying it's related, but kind of, I mean, like, that energy nowadays, you gotta be real careful what you say, because you manifest a lot just speaking it out loud. Like, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, just chill out, don't say too much.
And our law book makes that clear, like, power of life and death in the tongue, right? So be careful of the words that you speak.
I think like talking about manifesting, like, for some reason, like, I can't help but to bring up the topic of like new age spirituality or new age Christianity versus, like, I guess, true, like, kingdomship. Anybody else kind of noticing this, like, out there a little bit. I don't know. I was listening to he goes by Gabbana now. He used to be Boot Gang, but now it's
John
Gabbana. And he talked about it. He just pointed on it, and I bring it up too because like I went to church like probably like 2 weeks ago. Just while in Texas, I'm really from LA, but while out there, I just said, let me just go to a church, get a little bit, and it just seemed like just different, just from like the words I was getting, just very different.
It's very cookie cutter, like motivational message. Like it's no teaching really into it. Like I didn't really start diving into the word for real until I started seeking it out myself and really reading it and getting into the truth and like really actually reading it for the chapter, not just one little verse or not just this verse, the A part though, but what is that? Like, why are we separating the verse? We need to read it, the whole thing for its context.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the times in those church services, the things that even they're using the verse to use as a motivational speech, it's never relevant to what the chapter is even talking about. So then you got people running off with this little tidbit and you're like,
did you read the
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's not even what it says. You're using it all out of context. It has no power now with what you're doing.
They do that a lot in Catholicism.
Yeah, they're trying to remove.
I went to CCD classes when I was like gonna have a quinceañera, because you have to do that. But I was brought up, Christian from my grandparents, and they say what they need to say to get their message across, not the actual word.
Very much so.
And it sucks really, because it's like a lot of the congregation doesn't even know that it's invalid. It's so invalid what they're being taught because they also are not in their word. They're relying on that hour and 30 church service every Sunday, which it shouldn't even be on that day, but with every Sunday. And it's like, these pastors are getting off. They definitely have the wool over their eyes, leading the sheep, the wool over the sheep's eyes.
I always wonder is like, how do the people that are these like pastors for like eons, you have studied for so long, how is it that you can still get up and teach the same? Well, it's misleading. It is.
Lies.
The way you teach is misleading. You don't feel bad about this. Like, I know that you read this correctly. You had to have.
They want that bag.
Exactly. It's about the
salary is literally budgeted in for the whole thing. Like that's budgeted.
Like, is there no fear at all? And because like you said, woe to the false prophets, and people that lead my sheep astray. You're not afraid of what could happen for, continually giving this empty rhetoric all day long. I mean, I don't know.
We all know this church culture is like, that is like the staple of the Black community. Like it is.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's kind of lacking now. Now that I just got the facts kind of in, and I think during the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, the first 6 months alone, I think 3 out of 15 churches was closing a day, every day.
Wow.
But honestly, that was just to push forward again their agenda and their narrative, because churches are governed and owned, pretty much get all the benefits from the state. So of course, if the state is pushing this vaccine, they're going to push and use the churches as a prime tool in their propaganda and in their agenda. And people don't even see that. They got the church pushing out the vaccine and all types of other stuff, when really they should be preaching against it. It's backwards.
That's why I think it's more apparent how everyone really is asleep behind the wheel, like Charlotte said. It's a lot of moving things going on right now. Definitely. And everyone's just like, oh, we're outside, it's the summer, we're doing this, we're doing that. Focus on what you got going on, but it's like you don't see all of this crumbling behind you.
It's because they had us all cooped up for all that time, and so now that we got that freedom to go back out in the streets, to pretty much jump at whatever.
I get it, but in my time of being cooped up,
no, I've never.
I was in my word.
Right.
I was figuring out what was going on. Like, oh wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like y'all was giving a lot of disclosure to people, because I feel like around the time that I woke up in 2020. So that's when the veil was lifted off my eyes. He was also waking up a lot of other people in this time of, you have nothing to do but sit. You've already finished your work. You don't really care about school or work in general. That's draining you over Zoom. You know, what else are you doing? And what were they doing?
Watching the movie on Netflix.
Some people got it.
Yeah, some people got the wake up call. Some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That December 21st did a lot for some people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Something. That great
December was a month. For sure.
Sprinkle a little this on it. That great conjunction.
Setting stars in the sky is a sign, right? Like,
okay,
those who are awake will see it.
Then you had a lot of churches that were still trying to. You had a lot of churches that were still trying to congregate and then end up getting fines and stuff. And so they ended up like doing it at each other's houses and, you know, doing smaller congregations.
A lot of people move to streaming everything. So like another agenda that they're pushing, which is very much, it's giving Black Mirror, like everything is
for sure.
No real interactions. Everything's through a computer. And we got holograms and all this other stuff. Like you don't have that face-to-face anymore. You're not relying on it anymore. So then when you do get it back, it's like culture shock. What's going on? Now you're telling people to stay apart from each other because of the pandemic. Yeah. It's like so much planning put into it. It's like, I don't know how you couldn't see what's going on. They laid it out right in front of you.
They did.
Step by step.
As well as more invasive technology as well. Me and Deja were just talking about at the start of the pandemic, I was delivering Instacart and I had delivered to this Masonic lodge. And before I could even like introduce myself, I know. Before I could even introduce myself or like figure out, I was trying to drop off the groceries. She just put that thing up to my head and scanned it. I'm like,
wow.
When do we do that? Like, but before it was over before I could even say anything about it. Like, it's getting more and more invasive. And now they got this technology one or something. A Black girl as a cartoon promoting this palm scan and stuff. It's like, we see it all come, all the different pieces of the web coming back to the same point.
Did y'all even see that thermometer before the pandemic?
Which one?
Forehead one?
The forehead one, just the
I have one.
Just a little.
Not that widespread.
I've seen them. I used to work with them in the ER.
I have one.
For real? I had never seen those in my life. So that's why when people just started doing it, it was like,
They use those a lot for, I mean, when you do checkups for kids and stuff, they just go like that and it goes down. Mm-hmm. That's called a tympanic thermometer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always wondered how it worked, but I just was just like, all right. But it works.
Like it was glitching a lot. Like people would come in from outside and their temperatures would be 120 and it's like, come on, it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking to Jatea's point about the palm scan though, people are putting chips under their nail polish in Dubai. And they're like, oh, well, now you don't even need anything. You can just, your credit card and your business card and everything is just under your nail. It's like, why are y'all chips?
I had seen that years ago on
I seen that a while ago.
On an episode of CSI or something that they found out one of the girls, their identity or whatever, because they had a chip like implanted like right here of their credit card so they wouldn't have to carry it all over the place. And that's how they would get into the clubs like in Miami or something. I don't know if it was true. Of course, it was on TV, but
coming
TV.
And this was like early 2000s.
It's definitely not new. It's they did it on like the Belko experiment. It's a movie, and then like just talking about our subject about us kind of like being asleep. What's his name? Somebody was just like getting it out there, like, hey, like in El Salvador, like they already made Bitcoin legal, but the point of the matter is the extensions of what they have to go through on getting this free $50 Bitcoin. They have to put in all of their information. They have to put in zip code. They have to put in their name, date of birth, social security, basically tying all of the information to their IP address. So now, which is what I kind of already foresaw, but it's just kind of just to be aware of it. Like, hey, do you really want this free money? You know, are you willing to give up all your information for this free money? And it's very much like a test. And this is going on in El Salvador. Like, and they just shipped it.
Well, they do that here too, though. Like at any bank, they'll say if you start a checking account, we'll give you $50.
Right.
Just like at Chase or something.
But
they
now
do
it's
that
linked
here
to an actual address, like no matter what, you have like an address that follows you digitally. Like not just
IP address.
Like you're literally a website now. You're a bot with your own
exactly.
website address.
Oh my God.
You are a computer. They tagged you.
You are look over.
Well, I don't know why I'm thinking that this is like new. I mean, they chip dogs and stuff all the dang time.
Yeah.
That's how they test it. You know, they always test it on animals before they give it to us. Always.
Speaking of testing on animals, what do y'all think about like all the songbirds that are dying randomly?
Songbirds.
I think that's weird.
That
was a movie too. Yep.
I thought that was Bird Box. That one. It
was a song.
All those birds were falling on the house.
Yeah.
Those
are the birds you were talking about.
Kind?
That have just been dying.
Songbirds mainly, but they said like blue jays and other things are just randomly dropping dead in people's yards.
Plague.
I don't know what's going on.
Plague. Did y'all see the bugs on the Alabama convenience store?
Yeah, the blanket of bugs. Disgusting.
Ew, no.
Disgusting.
They were all over the gas station. It was like over the whole place. Plagues on plagues. The flooding, plagues. The fires, plagues. Hurricanes.
Work look crazy.
Like,
all that flooding.
Yeah. The East Coast is flooding. The West Coast is burning.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't know that y'all is here and at it right now,
you're
late.
You just sleep and well.
The alarm has sounding for a minute.
And it goes back to like, you know, a lot of people. I'm sorry, John.
I was just saying, like, it's been going on for a while, like this burning water, you know, like, I don't know, it never really made sense to me, this burning water. But yeah, that's it.
Duality.
The eye of hell opened up in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, like that, the ocean's on fire. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
I think it's so funny too that they drop all these movies about what's about to happen. So like Awake on Netflix, and it's talking about all these disasters, and then of course a solar flare happens, and then now people can't go to sleep and it's just chaos. But the news is saying, oh no, the worst of the worst is over, and the worst of the worst hits right when they say it. Like, it's full disclosure out here. People are still focused on the wrong things, and it's like, we as people being awake, we're like, well, how can't they see it? How can't they? But it's like, it's the code. Everyone's
We're being programmed, you know,
it's
like
such a blessing to see that you're to even be able to see what's going on.
Facts.
Really, such a blessing. All praise to the Most High for that.
Yes.
Has anybody ever seen the movie This Is the End? It came out about like 8-9 years ago.
Of course.
There were other celebrities in it.
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
When that movie came out, literally 5 minutes into the movie, I told my homeboy, I hit him up and I was like, yo, this is crazy. He was like, what? Because my homeboy that I hit up, he's also in the truth. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, man, you need to watch this movie. And he was like, wow. I was like, dude, 5 minutes into the movie, you're going to get it. 5 minutes into the movie, he called me back. And he was like, yo, this is for real. Like, and everything, literally everything in that movie from beginning to end is just symbolism. And it came out like 8 years ago, but it was just symbolism from beginning to end. And it was just crazy because it was just, like I said, like literally like 5 minutes into the movie, you just see people, being lifted up, you know what I'm saying, to the heavens. You've seen floods, you've seen earthquakes, you've seen fires, you've seen all of it, but they're just making a mockery of it all. And then you got Kevin Hart in there doing his bit. You got Seth Rogen and them doing their thing. Like, it was crazy. They got like all kinds of stuff going
Playing light on all of it.
Yeah, and they just really just shining the light on everything.
They always
but literally do. five minutes into the movie, it starts like, and you see it all happening.
The messed up thing too about entertainment is like, I saw that movie when it came out, but I was watching it as like the old person. And so now as a new person, I find I watch movies I watched back then and I'd be like, wait a minute, what? Like, this was in the movie the whole time? And I didn't even know. Like, I'd be having to rewatch and re-listen to things as this new person now, like with my eyes open and really seeing what
cartoons.
It's crazy. It's like really two sides, like, to it
all.
Because
Adventure Time
in the background
has Baphomet in it and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the cartoons is serious. The cartoons are serious. Yeah.
When I found out Adventure Time had all them Baphomets and the symbolism and everything, I was like, what in tarnations? Yeah. I told my kids they could not watch it.
So the SpongeBob,
like, watch over my nephew, like
SpongeBob has it too.
Yes.
Yeah. They all do. It's really the bottom of the barrel. That's how we know we're at the end, because now it's just blatantly out there. And if you're awake, you know what's going on. But like I said, if you're asleep, you don't know what that is. It's like, oh, entertainment. Like, no, there's channeling really strong spells through the TV and getting our kids. You know, the type of trance that Coco Melon has on kids? I'm still trying to figure that out. What is Coco Melon?
I don't know what's that.
It's with all these new cartoons. Like, I know I've seen some videos on YouTube about the kids part of YouTube where they have all the videos and it has like different colors of stuff, but all the videos have the same thing. They're just like Spider-Man or SpongeBob or different characters, but they say it's some form of mind control or something that they do, that they use. And I looked at it, and then there's like tons of videos of the same thing over and over and over. But it's all on YouTube Kids, so it's supposed to be, safe. But
it's all about why do you think, and this is just, what I've kind of gathered from seeing how everything is going, but you look at TikTok and how TikTok is like 15-second videos, 20-second videos, whatever. And the hot thing about TikTok is it's like 15-second clips and then you go to the next one, 15-second clips and you go to the next one. All it's doing is it's brainwashing everybody, right? So you see all these clips and they're all the same thing. And it's making you just see it all over and over and over. So you see 100 videos in a matter of 5 minutes of everybody doing the same dance or doing the same little, whatever it is, that's hot at that moment. And it's just programming. So now all these kids are doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's just a faster way to just continue to hypnotize them. Because at first they were doing like long videos, long cartoons, things like that. Now TikTok is 15 seconds long. So if we could just put 100 TikTok videos together in a row and the kids are going to watch each and every one of them, it's just going to get into their psyche pretty soon. It's like they're going to walk around doing the dance move or saying the little saying that they're doing or humming it or whatever. And it just becomes a part of what they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's all just part of the training. It's all part of what they're doing to make sure that, okay, cool, we got this one. We got this one. So anything we put out, we're good. We're going to capture this one. Just like John was talking about the $50 Bitcoin and stuff like that. They're trying to test to see who's going to fall for the money. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's going to fall for a little bit of money, they're like, cool, we know we can get them if we put a big amount in front of them. If they're going to do all this for this little $50, we can imagine what they're going to do for 50,000. You know what I'm saying? So all they're doing is just trying to see who's going to fall for it. So you get all these people who are getting vaccinated and getting, implants, and they're doing it for little $200 bonuses at work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. Like,
that's a shame. How cheap are you?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so they're just, all they're doing is they're just being able to see who's able to be bought. Who's able to be bought. Who's not in tune with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And, we We are just happen to be awake. So, we're not falling for it, but it's too many people out here who are just, everybody is following along with, the masses. And unfortunately, the masses is, going left, you know what I mean? Because they're not awake. And then, as John alluded to with the Christianity, the new Christianity and stuff, how they're doing it, like, it's all evil. It's all evil. That's why you don't ever see them actually open their Bibles. You know what I'm saying? They have one in front of them, but they never open it. And
or
if it's open, it stays on one page. Yeah, exactly. And it stays on one page. You'll never see them.
Too much like
nothing. Go ahead, John.
It's too much like the book of Eli, man. Like, oh, this is powerful. Like, this is your sword right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a test without it. Like you got this one version of the Bible, another version, all these different versions, and it's like, if you don't got your weapon, you don't keep your weapon on you. You kind of lacking, basically. You're not ready for war.
You're not kind of lacking. You lacking.
You're lacking.
You know what I'm saying?
Lacking severely.
Lacking.
That's why they're being led astray, because they don't know what to say anyway.
Exactly.
Because honestly, if you just read your Bible, and I feel like, though, I will give some credit to the churches, because it seems like even though there are a lot that are leading astray, there are a lot of people telling the truth right now.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's like
churches, and no matter what you believe, honestly, I feel like there's a specific group or sector that is like, hey, I know y'all see all this going on right now,
Fact. Like that one pastor was talking about CERN, and I've never seen him talk about CERN.
That's a good one.
Ever.
They starting to wake up. There are some that are starting to wake up. I mean, I was listening to this one lady not too long ago, and she was talking about how she came up in a Christian church, and then she was introduced to the truth, and she was like, yo, I'm with it. So she went all the way into it, and then she came back across this the pastor that she had when she was under the Christian umbrella. And she started talking to him about it, and he didn't even like dismiss her beliefs or anything. He actually was like, yo, I think we need to hear that in the church. So he asked her to start speaking. And so a lot of them are a lot of these pastors are doing what they're, what they were taught and what they're just used to hearing and just following the footsteps. But a lot of them hadn't really taken the time to really dig deep for the truth themselves. So then when you have somebody bring it to their attention, it's cool that you got somebody who's willing to be like, you know what, let me go ahead and check that out. That actually sounds pretty good, And the fact that he was willing to be like, yo, have a seat up here, talk to the people, let them know. And he was cool with it, So
That's
a lot of them are waking up.
That's interesting you say that, Jamal, because I always wonder, like, pastors that devote their lives to studying the word, like, y'all don't read the entire book. Like, I never understood how you didn't see
it's because
holes in what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Because when they go to school, the school actually gives them like an itinerary.
Right.
So it's like you follow this curriculum, you follow this itinerary. This is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna learn. This is what you're gonna teach. And then after that, it's just rebuttal. You're just saying the same thing over and over every week. You know what I'm saying? You're saying it different ways, but you're not really digging into it because you're looking at certain scripture just to follow the curriculum, but you're not really studying it. So when you have somebody who's studying it and they bringing it to you, now it's like, oh, this is in the same book. Okay, let me check that out.
It is.
So it's like,
that's how I was. Like, I know I did not read this correctly the first, second, or third time.
Yeah. That's a fact. As they say, repetition is the mother of all learning, right? And like, that's why social media and television, media in general, is like such a drug, because they keep like you were alluding to, Jamel, with the TikTok, you see it over and over and over, the same thing, like a cookie cutter, but it's sneaking into your subconscious, and you keep that repetition, and then it becomes ingrained. So like the people who are asleep because they're looking at the wrong teacher. We're awake because we're looking at the right teacher. And so that is like the bottom line. If you want to have a life that will be productive and saved, then, focus on what the word of the Most High is, and not what you look in on TV and listening to in songs and on TikTok.
I agree. We definitely set our algorithm the same way that they have this algorithm for our social media and stuff. We set that. We're the ones, it's like, yes, they are giving it to us, but we're the ones who's controlling what we see. You keep seeing the same more of the BS, that's what's on there. Because honestly, my feed ain't no BS. I got all woke stuff, and I'm glad. I'm like, I'm finding the community. Like, y'all own it. Y'all own it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You always get the option. You always get the option. That's how the Most High said it. That's his order. You get the option.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the consequences for whatever you decide. Don't be mad about the consequences when you chose it.
Exactly.
It's given enough disclosure for sure. So much disclosure.
And both sides have given disclosure, right? Like they always, like I said, before something happens, I foretell of it. The devil says, before something happens, I'm gonna put it in a song. I'm gonna put it on TV. I'm gonna put it in a movie.
Okay.
But don't say you didn't know. I showed you.
They put it on the news.
They put it on the news. They like to make jokes. Like hell. Like, y'all aren't joking. Y'all acting like no, this is
there is no such thing as what is it? Fiction? Yeah.
Everything comes from something.
Yeah, because how did you even think to even put this in a movie?
It's because it don't be there. They just fairy tale or whatever it may be every time.
It's because everybody allows it to pass as entertainment, and they just think, oh, he's just creative. But if you're creating nothing but evil, how is that just creation? That comes from something. You know what I mean? It's not just you. I just thought of something. Just put it, like everything comes from something. You know what I'm saying? That creation, the music and everything. I mean, that's all spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You're tapped into something, and that's what comes out of you. So for somebody to be able to create that, like that show, what is it called? Like Lucifer or Hell or something like that on Netflix. And they're trying to make it seem like he's a cool dude. But it's like, are you serious? Like they're trying to make, you know what I mean? It's just, like, but again, even that's in the Bible. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's good is bad and what's bad is good. You know what I'm saying? And
well, wasn't he the angel of that anyway?
Of music and everything, entertainment, basically,
Yeah, and he looked the best. It's the same type of time.
And it adds up too. Like if you think of Hollywood,
the music industry and
where entertainment is even at LA,
exactly.
The Angels, they don't lie about anything. They don't lie about anything, like at all. And even
Hollywood,
except for that last season.
Hollywood
that movie Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, that last season was wild.
But
even
the most part, they were pretty truthful in it, and it's like no lies were told. Once again,
nah, not at all.